Feel your own individual breath interbreathing now into this space fully. And as your breath exhales out, feel the light of your intention of being here now, the light of your being expanding. And as you breathe in this amplified expansion. And for those of you who are just so curious as to what it is we are doing, just feel the uneventfulness of peace within you, turning tides. It is so good to be with you all. I'm just scrolling here on the screen and seeing your beautiful kindred faces, Cynthia. So good to see Michelle and Mon, Glenda, Amin, Ekti, Sam, Robert, Regine, Ava, Monica, Sheila, Anne and Anne, Tanya, Mana. Thank you, beloveds, for being here. And if I did not say your name, your presence is felt. Yoshi behind me just took a deep, deep breath. It was the breath of pure contentment. So let us breathe now with the herd who have gathered all around, and not just externally gathered, but as a nucleus, a bridge within your own being, a bridge of I see you, bridge of honoring, a bridge of love with all of nature. So we'll call in now Yoshi from the herd of light. As we feel our breaths interbreathing and re-rhythmatizing. And we call in Travis. And Teddy. Taz, and Khalil quenching at the water trough. And there's an unseen pole star being of the herd named Omar. And we can tune into his formless presence as well. And then feel this herd of light as one ever expanding body of light with all of your most intimate nature beloveds. Just feel them nearer than near. Whether they are in their beautiful animal forms as dogs, cats, birds, or if they've flown free from their form, feel their presence. Gathering around the hearth of your own innermost heart. Let's call in the sacred land beneath our feet. Here in Northern California, this is the native Ohlone tribe land. And the land that each one of us is rooted to, is rooted in indigenous native wisdom. Let's call in these elders who came before us. And the land and the soil and Mother Gaia, the vastness of her cradle encircling us all, within us all, and holding us all. Let's call in her elements. Fire, water, air, earth, and ether. Let's feel our interbreathing with the trees. All of these great beings, these treeings around the world, and those that are no longer in their form as a presence, a pole star presence here and now. And let's call in the bodies of water and the oceanic beings. And let's hear their call. All the winged ones, the land dwellers, the sky travelers, beneath the soil, the microbiome and worlds we cannot see. The flowers and the fae, the sprites, and all the nature spirits. And just call in those beings that you have crossed paths with and have met with a light of, I see you. Recently, today, this season, the fruits on the trees, orange persimmons, the ochre grasses. Here in Northern California, the mountains and rocks and crystals, feel them all nearer than near, all singing one song, one harmony. And then feel your own intention in harmony with all of nature. And let's call in our human brothers and sisters. Let's call in our human family as nature beings. As we all remember our true nature, may this remembrance be fully contagious. So again, welcome to each one and all. And if you have not yet experienced a nature and animal assisted awakening gathering, thank you for saying yes to discovery here and now. There is an intention here converging in this group field. And we're, in a way, emissaries of this intention of unity. All of nature are emissaries, and we are all sharing one heart of intention here. So we will open up to listen to words that have come through the herd and I, that are mere attempts of translating frequency of nature consciousness. So allow the mind to bathe. This is not a mental, conceptual gathering. This is more like music. So we open up those parts of ourselves to transceive. And that is simply one reciprocal flow of nature, where giving and receiving become one amplified flow of light. So natural. And we'll begin a month of diving today together, diving into these frequencies that I would use the word pointers for these times to describe. For these times, right here, right now, together. And then every Sunday, for the rest of this month, we will expand as an intimate little circle. But for now, we come together to share this far and wide. So let us begin, dear friends, and I would love to ask somebody who feels like it would not interrupt their flow, if they could be a co-host, which means that if somebody comes while I'm sharing the transmissions, you simply would see that they've arrived and click the button admit. So if somebody would like to do that, please, could you unmute and just accept that role, please? Khalil, you want to do it? He said he would if he had fingers.
I don't mind doing it.
Oh, thanks, Sherry. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to be co-host, and then you just say yes. Do you see it? No. Okay. So let's see. Sherry, you are co-host now. So it's all done. And you'll just see a little a window that says someone has entered, and you can just hit admit. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So as we begin to tune now to a deep part of ourself, let's open up some portals that we may overlook in daily life. Let's open up the portals of the soles of our feet together. Just this in and of itself is a palpable felt sense, isn't it? Feel the soles of your feet translucently breathing with the earth, feeling the vibration of the earth, and allow them to be breathed in up the leg channels, nourishing you, and then back down, offering back the gratitude. And also notice the space behind you, awake and aware, breathing fully, the back of your heart as well as the front, emanating, sensing, perceiving, receiving. And the antenna, if you will, at the top of your head. Tune this antenna to the frequencies of light that are wanting to be amplified here and now through you, like only you can. And so we open to transceive together now these transmissions for these time. The first transmission is a chant that came through as the presence of Uluru in Australia and 4. Uluru, the sacred rock, red rock, red soil, brought a note that you may want to experiment with, a deep as you can chant. Feel that note that begins to vibrate right in your heart center. These words flowed through from Uluru. I am bathing in waters within, waters purified by heart flames of my kin, ancestors' hearts aflame with devotion. This I am bathing in my inner ocean. Uluru, 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 I am bathing in waters within, waters purified by heart flames of my kin, ancestors' hearts aflame with devotion. This I am bathing in my inner ocean. Uluru, 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 small bathe in this innermost sea that I cannot find a you or a me. And as you bathe deeper, you too will see that your salvation is your relation to this innermost sea. So just feel now in the sea of your own being, a deeper bathing than ever before. This is what is needed for these times, beloved. Feel the sea infused with the heart flames of purification from all of our kin, flames of devotion, and resting here with Uluru in this inner ocean. I am bathing so deeply in waters within, waters purified by heart flames of my kin, ancestors' hearts aflame with devotion. This I am bathing in my inner ocean. So strongly I vibrate this innermost sea that I can no longer separate the you from the me. And as you bathe deeper within, it is there you will see that your salvation is your relation to yourself as this sea. Your salvation is your relation to yourself as this sea. So feeling the felt sense within your own being here and now, as you breathe this offering and transceive this offering from Uluru, in and out as one flow. And I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can see how the herd is holding space and amplifying and bathing in their innermost sea with us here, and training us back to this natural landing place, this resting place. And our next transmission is from the heart of nature consciousness. The more complex the weavings, the greater tension required to hold them together. The more complex the weavings, the greater the tension required to hold them together. For all phenomena requires tension to hold together relative realness. For all phenomena requires tension to hold together relative realness. So hold lightly here and now. Hold loosely this ever cresting and ever falling weaving of light. Just notice how well your own body knows this tension. Your own mind knows the tension needed to hold together complexities, the relative reality. And just feel the familiar tension, and then the choice to hold loosely and lightly this ever cresting and ever falling weaving of light. Feel this relaxing and becoming lucid again and again, choosing to hold lightly and loosely, to relax and become loosened with each breath, again and again, here and now. A new way rises up in our midst, out of the mists, right before our soft-eyed seeing. A new way rises up in our midst, out of the mists, right before our soft-eyed seeing. You may catch a glimpse now. You may not know what this way will be, but rest assured, you will directly know what it feels like. So relax and feel your way. Feel your way into being this new way, which is so very old. Feeling the frequencies of these words as they land and are held lightly and loosely, like water, a river of light moving through. and allow what wants to flow away to be released in this loosening. And what wants to be illuminated in this expansion, welcome it. The more complex the illusion, the greater the tension that's needed to hold it together. For all phenomena requires this tension to hold together relative realness. So hold lightly, hold loosely, this ever cresting and ever falling weaving of light. Relax and become loosened again and again in each breath, here and now. A new way rises up in our midst, right out of the mist, right before our soft-eyed seeing. You may catch a glimpse now. You may not know what this new way will be, but rest assured you will directly know what it feels like. So relax and feel your way into being this new way, which is so very old. So together we feel this powerful invitation for clear feeling, for resting assured, for inviting the effortless new way out of this expansion, this loosening. With all of nature. The more complex the illusion, the greater the tension needed to hold it together. Perhaps it is in the still pointed turning point of this very breath that simplifies the illusion, tracing it back to the one source. Perhaps it is in this very still pointed turning point where the inhalation becomes the exhalation. That simplifies the illusion, tracing it back to the one source which weaves endless tapestries with threads of varying hues and degrees of light. Yes, we feel you are ready now. After all, your most sincere efforts have left you out of breath often enough to open you to this very now of choosing a new old way. a way where your breath is made light and free. Breathe your way into the tensionless, non-held together source of all efforts, to the source flower fields of simplicity in the garden of each breath, rooted in the fertile soul soil of here and now. The more complex the illusion, the greater the tension needed to hold it together. Perhaps it is in this very still-pointed turning point of this very breath that simplifies the illusion, tracing it back to the one source, the still-pointed turning point. Let's feel this together in the rhythmic turning point of the cresting and falling of the breath. The simplicity, tracing it back to the one source which weaves endless tapestries with threads of varying hues and degrees of light. Yes, we feel you are ready now. After all, your most sincere efforts have left you out of breath often enough to open you to this very here and now. In this very here and now of choice, of choosing a new, old way, a way where your breath is made light and free. Let us breathe a natural breath, light and free. Breathing this way, awake into the tensionless, non-held together source of all efforts. Straight to the source flower fields of simplicity in the garden of each breath. Rooted in the fertile soul soil of here and now. So, beloveds, a breath of simplicity, rooted in this fertile soil of here and now. A touching in on the still point, where light crests and falls, tracing us back to the tension-free source. So again, inverting attention and bathing in the innermost sea with all of nature within. Just feeling the direct sense of being here now. Feeling your heartbeat re-rhythmatizing. Entraining to the heartbeat of Mother Gaia. Unwinding. And we'll take a breath of profound gratitude to these nature beings for embodying this new old way. To the red rock Uluru. To all of nature and this beautiful herd and all of your beautiful animal and nature intimates. Let us breathe in this light and send it out upon the breath effortlessly and free. As Khalil steps forward here on your screens and shares a gaze and is moved out of the way by Yoshi, who says, I'm here. Just see what is percolating and rippling and moving through you. See what you may want to share, if there is anything you would like to lend voice to. How these frequencies are showing themselves in you. Please, I will edit out for privacy, so feel free to share in this one heart. Consciousness with these beings is to breathe with them. I can feel the stream of Travis's breath right now through that portal of his nostril. And the frequency on that breath right now is shared here and now with us all. Would anyone else like to unmute? Your silence rings and sings loud and clear as the day sky. And thank you for that incredible presence that you bring each one here. May these transmissions serve and nourish and to relax the conditioning and to let veils of confusion and complexity dissolve. And thank you so much for being here. Let's take a breath of silence. And I close with hands over heart. Thank you, Katie. And I close in the way that I feel the deepest expression of devotion, which is muzzled to the earth, right here and now with you all. Blessings, blessings, blessings.